Sound check 1 2 1 2. Welcome in to another SR51 Media stream. I am your host, Saud Aries. Hopefully, you've been having a good day. If it's not been going well for you, hopefully it turns around for you a little bit later. Today is the debut of the new setup. I believe, from what I can tell, I have solved the issue. This stream, as I check right now, this stream is coming through at 1080p, 60 frames per second. Now, what you might have to do, which is understandable, some people may have to connect to their Wi-Fi. I would recommend connecting to your Wi-Fi in your house. I would recommend setting it to 1080p, 60 frames per second, because you're going to get a different picture. What was going on was that our earlier stream was running at around 900p, something like that. So the graphics were not coming through at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So what I embarked on was I embarked on a trip to find out, because to tell you the truth, myself, I'm an Apple person. I've always been, I shouldn't say I've always been an Apple person, because I have no beef with Android. Like, I've had Android too. I think it's a good platform as well. But one of the things I think Apple does that Windows and Android doesn't do is, when you buy the hardware, a lot of times the hardware exceeds more than what you bought. Like, when I bought my MacBook M1 and I did my impressions, like when I go to do my next review, which is like a year after having it and stuff like that, I'll be able to say that it exceeded my expectations. Like, when I bought it, I didn't really pay attention to how much the stream quality was going to be. Like, I figured 720p or whatever it is would be enough, 900. But after streaming for a while and noticing that I wanted you guys to see what I'm seeing, I wanted the graphics to be 1080p and I wanted the frames to be 60 frames per second, because the more frames you have and the better resolution you have, the better picture you see. And in the world today we're in, most of the time you're going to choose the better picture. Now, the only thing, just to let you know, the only thing standing over top of us is like 4K settings, okay? And I'm not going to completely rule out 4K. One of the things that happened today was when I figured out that you could stream 10, because I said to myself, what happened was, I checked my graphics card, and my graphics card was pumping out to the Elgato service at 1080p 60. And what I noticed was, when I go into the stream on YouTube, it says 720p with no real options to upgrade. So I had to go into the settings. I had to change some things like bit rates. If you want to know, the video for the OBS settings to get 1080p 60, let me know. I'll tweet out the video that I watched. So what happened was, basically, I flipped around the settings. I did a test stream. The test stream came in at 1080p 60. Nothing was running slow. No windows or anything like that was moving slow. Everything was moving pretty good. What I figured was, most of the time nowadays, most people have unlimited data, or at least unlimited. They either have unlimited data on their phone, or they have damn near unlimited data at their house. So most of the time when you go to watch a stream that you're watching for 4 or 5 hours, you're probably, at home or around somebody that has Wi-Fi, or you have good cellular Wi-Fi, one or another. So that's the reason why I think that that's a good update for. Last night's stream went on around, I went kind of late. I think I went to about 2 o'clock in the morning last night. Went kind of late last night. But we set up our franchise Eagles. What I did was I fast forwarded a year. To the new draft that'll be coming out in 2022, just to show you some of the people that we have on the team. So we have Jalen Hurts, who's worked himself up to a 79. Myself as a rookie, Saud Aries quarterback. Dwayne Haskins, Miles Sanders, Najee Harris, Kenny Gainwell, the Eagles that have been there. This is just for new people. Kyle Juszczyk, Patrick Ricard. We have Devontae Smith. We was able to pick up Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown, Jalen Waddle, DJ Chark Jr., the Eagles that were there. Robert Tonyan, Logan Thomas. We were able to pick him up. Who else? Andrew Norwell, Richie Incognito, Fuller, Brandon Linder, Austin Ritter, James Daniels, who's really good, Kyle Long, who else? Melvin Ingram, Ionitis, Sheldon Richardson, Trey Flowers, Romeo Okwara. We were able to pick up Miles Jack, Josh Allen, Bryce Calhoun, Jason Verrett, Brian Poole. We were able to pick up Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos. And we drafted this is our draft. So this is our drafted strong safety. He's hidden. He's a hybrid. He's a hidden strong safety. He seems like he's going to work out pretty well. And then also, we have our quarterback that I drafted, Salt Aries. He wasn't drafted as Salt Aries. He was actually drafted as a different person. But so far, he's hidden. And I like his speed and ability so far. If I had to say anything, I think I might have struck gold a little bit with this one. Because he's on the game, I would say he's about damn near Kyle Murray, Lamar Jackson speed. Like if you ranked them, it would be like Lamar Jackson, not even in order. It would be like Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, probably Kyle Murray, and maybe one other quarterback like Russell Wilson or something like that. No, I shouldn't even say Russell. I feel as though he's faster than Russell Wilson. You know, he's faster than Russell. He's like the fastest quarterback out there, below like Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and a couple of other quarterbacks, but he's up there. And then his rating coming into the league, he's number 32 ranked quarterback. He's in the top 18% of quarterbacks right outright. There's some things that, we have to build up, but as the games goes on, we will build them up. So we're at the part of the year, and then there's some big decisions that are coming up as well. Like in the re-sign window, I went to the re-sign window, like, most of these deals are pretty workable. Like Matthew Ioannidis, 20 for 2 is okay. Fletcher Cox, 15 for 1. Miles Sanders, 36 for 5 isn't bad. He's basically wanting like, under $10 million a year, which is respectable. Josh Allen wants $91 million for 6 years. He's the biggest contract this year. 18 for 2 isn't bad. 17, 6, 10, nothing too bad. Josh Allen is the biggest one with his $91 million contract. But what you also have to understand is he's only 25 years old. He's been in the league 3 years. He's a superstar. And at the same time, he's in the top 3. He's number 6 ranked right outside linebacker in the top 3%. So you're not going to find much better. So a lot of these players are going to end up probably signed and brought back. So I'm not going to look to like trade them ahead of time or anything like that. But we're at the part right now where we have to cut 26 people, and that's what we have to do. So let's start going position by position and see what we can cut and shred. I want to keep Dwayne Haskins. Cut this guy. He was picked up last minute. We have a lot of halfbacks. I'm trying to keep them if I can. Fullbacks. Okay, wide receiver. Cut this guy. Cut this guy. I don't know. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside might be getting cut. I might end up cutting him because we have Quez Watkins and stuff like that. Tight ends. We have 3 tight ends. Left tackle. Left guard. And we got 23 people. Okay, so at left guard, we have a little too many people at left guard. So he's about 1 point better than Isaac Seumalo, and he'll take away from Isaac Seumalo. So let's cut let's cut Filler. Brings back $3 million in cap space. Incognito, we're going to hold on to Incognito for now. Centers. Okay. So our rookie that we just picked up is better than him in a run block, and he's only a couple points below him. So we're going to go ahead and cut him. Right guards. We can try to keep these guys if we can. Left ends, right ends, D tackle. Cut this guy. Try to keep all the D tackles we have. Cut this guy. We have a lot of middle linebackers. We'll work that out in a minute. Let me see. Let me see Sean Bradley's card. I don't want to cut him. Move him to practice squad. Right outside linebacker. Cut this guy. Cornerback. Cut this guy. Free safety. How well does Marcus Epps do in like the pass and stuff like that now? Cut this guy. Strong safety. Let's see if we can trade Ricardo away, because we have Antonio Harris, and he has a better tackling, and we have Kayvon Wallace who's right behind him, and I don't want to not get him any time. See about trading him away, and see, we got to make some room here. Gotta make some room at the table. So let's see about trading Whiteside, and then Incognito. Let's see what we can get. Let's see if there's any interest around the NFL or any of these guys. All right, we got a yellow from the Browns and the Buccaneers, yellow from the Chiefs, the Colts. So Incognito has gotten some yellow from the So the Browns have a yellow interest in them. I'm looking to strengthen my line, even though I'm losing people. I'm looking to strengthen my line. Jedrick Willis Jr. Power. Undisciplined penalty tendency. Joe Baton. Pass protector. Would you let him go? Oh, that's like their number one. They don't want to let him go. Watt Taylor. Undisciplined penalty tendency. So what about Joel? They're not looking to let Joel go. Need some help at cornerback. Denzel Ward. Man-to-man, plays his own man-to-man 91. Zone coverage 87. Undisciplined penalty tendency. Greg Newsome. Below him, plays his own 86. Man coverage 77. Undisciplined penalty tendency. How about draft picks? I'll take that 30-round draft pick. First round next year. Fourth round draft pick, I might be able to get that left guard. He has some undisciplined penalty tendencies, but let me see, is the other boy might be younger than him. Yeah, he's younger than him. He only been in the league 2 years. Undisciplined penalty tendency, we can work around that. Almost got him. Let's see, before we trade him here, the Buccaneers had an interest. Devion White, star, middle linebacker, has very good stats, team player. Wouldn't mind putting him in at linebacker. How far apart are we? Very far apart. Okay, so let's see. Seeing as how you're holding on to them. Sean Murphy Bunting. Plays a zone, 76, man-to-man, 83, undisciplined penalty tendency. We got Sean Murphy Bunting. Still got to cut 14 players, though. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So, the linebacker, the left outside linebacker position, it was played pretty well. I'm not going to sit up here and say that these guys were playing it bad or something, but there was a little bit of targeting going on at that position, I noticed. So it kind of showed me that we might be a little light at the position. So that's what made me say, because see, anybody below Trey Flowers, there's no point in picking them up, right? So it would need to be somebody over top of them, right? I was going to shoot for J.J. Watt, but then when I started thinking about J.J. Watt, it got me to thinking about J.J. Watt from the Cardinals. So J.J. Watt from the Cardinals has been on the team for a good minute, and a lot of times when players are towards the later part of their years, a lot of times you can pick the player up. See how he's a 70, he's an 88 now. He's not pumped up. He doesn't have his super stats because, you know, he's getting a little bit older. So maybe what we could do is trade him a tight end, let's say Logan Thomas. Pretty far apart on that one. Okay, they're looking for a left outside linebacker. I don't have anybody that I would give them. Right linebacker, they could have Hewitt. See? So they still seem to be in the midst of using him because, let me see, nobody's lighting up. And what you also don't want to do is you don't want to invest in like older players. Like if we have a left outside linebacker position that needs some help, let's see if there was any rookies that came out that were hidden at the position. Because we have a top flight left outside linebacker as it stands. Okay, so there's this guy, Chris Elm, normal. Then there's this one, normal. This one, normal. This one, normal. Yep, so there's probably no right outside linebacker that came out. That was pretty tough. Okay, so let's look middle linebacker. Hidden. Cameron Gallery. So he plays for the New York Giants. His zone isn't that high. Middle linebacker, top 18 middle linebackers in the game. He might do well at left outside linebacker. He's a little bit lower rated than Trey Flowers, but let's see if there was any right line. Oh, well, then there was Von Miller as well, who was on the Dolphins, and you might be able to pick him up. But let's see. Oh, Shaq Thompson as well. Shaq's a little bit over Josh Allen. See if there was any right outside. Okay, so there's him. He's a rusher, speed rusher. Okay, so the thing of it is, I like the middle linebacker, this guy from the Giants. It just depends on what he's going to be. I don't know if he would play the left outside linebacker position all that well. You see what I'm saying? Because of the fact, like, his stats, let me see his stats again. His stats say his zone coverage is 63. I pay a lot of zone coverage. So when you look at it, he has tackling, he has speed, he has acceleration, he has hip power, play recognition, awareness, but he's a linebacker style. So, you know, he's out there to kind of drop bodies. He's not going to actually, say, intercept a pass or something like that. So I wanted to check out Von Miller from the Dolphins. Let's see what they're looking for. They're looking for a defensive tackle because Von's a little bit older, and then we may be able to find a linebacker through the draft or something. Okay, so they're not really that interested in that. I'm pretty sure Ioannidis would get the trade, but Ioannidis is so young and stuff like that. I don't want to necessarily put him out for trade. Center. Okay. Hell, I'm trying to give them people they don't even know they need. Melvin Ingram. Okay, they don't want to come off of them. Now, also, they may not let him go because I think he might be, let me see. Yeah, he's the best player on the team now. So, they may not be willing to let him go because of that, right? Like, because of the fact that he's, like, the best player on the team. And at the same time, we have good linebackers so far. So, we're going to stay open, maybe see what we can do later. Now, at the cornerback position, if we could get Xavier Howard, that would be very nice. Now, what I'm willing to use to get Xavier Howard is potentially a first-round pick from next year. If I put the first-round pick in from next year, we would have a cornerback that's an X-factor cornerback. He's number 8 ranked cornerback in the league, and it would supremely, like, shut down that position as far as I'm concerned 9 times out of 10. And a number 15th pick, you know, we have some good wide receivers. The first round pick, let's see let's see if J.J. Watt can be loosened, because I traded for J.J. Watt I traded for T.J. Watt 1 year with a first round pick, and they handed him over. So let's see. Yeah, see, they're not interested in that. Now, if I was to do a first round pick for 22 for this year, still not interested in that. So they're not interested in letting go of T.J. Watt, which is understandable. He's like, you know, damn near their team. And then when you look at Trey Flowers is rated the number 11 ranked outside linebacker in the game. He has very good stats. His awareness, his zone coverage is pretty bad, but so far I think he's pretty good. So, and when you come into quarterbacks, right, like Stephon Gilmore, he plays